Okay, good morning, everybody. We are here in the kitchen of some Polish cooks here today, and just a couple housekeeping rules. We want to make sure that you are muted. If I do hear that you are not muted, I will mute you, so don't worry about that. But if you have a question, as we're going along, we're going to have a couple spots for questions. So if you could maybe wait for those spots when we ask you for your questions. You could also enter them in the chat if you are able to do that. So those are the only things that we ask of you. And at the end, so if you could stay to the very end, we are going to have a drawing. So one of you lucky winners, whoever stays toward the end, will win something from the Polish Heritage Society. So we're going to start right now. And I hope everybody's ready. This is going to be exciting. All right.
Dzień dobry. We welcome you from Appleton, Wisconsin, to a Polish cooking class of making naleśniki, Polish crepes. And I am here with my lovely mom, Alina. She's visiting me from Poland, and she will be a main chef today. She's also the person that prepared the recipe you are looking at. Before we start, I just want to let you know that today's class is organized through Polish Heritage Society or Northeastern Wisconsin in Green Bay. Our organization's mission is to develop a spirit of pride and sharing of Polish culture, education, and history. And today we are doing this through cooking and making naleśniki. Tammy mentioned about the prizes that we actually, one prize that we will offer at the class at the end. So the lucky winner would be able to choose from following options. If you are from this area and if you are able to come and pick up naleśniki, Mom will make 10 of them for you today. And either if you can come today or tomorrow, she will make it this available for you to just come and have them. If you are not from this area and if you would rather to choose from the other options, you have a choice of either an annual membership to our organization, or we can also renew your membership for another year. And the third option is you can choose from a nice selection of the Polish t-shirts we have. We have different sizes, different design. So we will draw a name at the end of the class. Please stay tuned, and then you will let us know which option you would like. I think I need to say a few more things about my lovely mom. Her name is Alina. Mom doesn't speak a lot of English, but she's a wonderful cook. The interesting thing about Mom is, as a typical Polish mom, she does not follow any recipe. So cooking with her is always a very nice experience. And we are happy that you can join us for that experience today. So without any further ado, I think we can start. To powiem trochę parę słów o tych naleśnikach, co to jest. Dobrze? So in order to, so we are making naleśniki, Polish crepes. Naleśniki is a very, very traditional Polish dish. Mom just mentioned you can make it for breakfast, for lunch, and also for dinner. You can make it two ways. You can make it a sweet version, which how we are going to make it today, or you can make it a little bit savory, naleśniki as well, and fill it up with like spinach, meat, mushroom. But again, today we are going to make the sweet version, the breakfast version. So before we start, myślę, że pokażemy wszystko, co mamy tutaj przygotowane i pokażemy te składniki, które mamy. I am going to quickly go through the kitchen tools that we prepare, just in case if you are joining us and you are making naleśniki, you can get everything ready. And then I will also show you the ingredients that we prepare here, and we have all of them set up. So I will start with I have a hand mixer here.
I trzepaczką też można.
Mom is saying you could use also a hand mixer. You can just whisk all the ingredients together, or you can simply put all the ingredients in a blender. That works perfectly fine. Second, of course, we need a pot to mix everything. And what I have here is a tall pot. You have to be careful when we start mixing things. You don't want to put the things in the mixing bowl because the things are going to like splash around. So make sure this is a tall one. In terms of the tools, jakie mamy jeszcze? I also have, pokaż tą baterię.
Czy to jest dobra?
This is
Ale można na takich robić zwykłej, ale to jest taka oryginalna do naleśników.
Mom really likes this skillet, crepe skillet. And the reason why she likes it, because it's a thin one, it's easy to maneuver when we are going to put a batter later on. But any type of non-sticky skillet is fine for making crepes. So don't worry if you don't have this particular one. Of course, we will need a little spatula for flipping the crepes. I also have a ladle to pouring the batter into the skillet. And then on the side right here, I have a plate where we will be putting our crepes. Now for making the filling, we will have two different type of fillings that we'll be making today. So we have the cheese and the apple one. For the cheese filling, I have a little bowl that I'll be mixing all of the ingredients. And again, I will go through the ingredients in a second. And then also I have the frying pan for baking our apples. And then over here, and Mom already started doing it, we melted a butter. So I have a small skillet where she will be using this butter for making the batter for the naleśniki. I think I covered everything. But please let me know if you have any questions. Oh, I think I forgotten one thing. I just want to make sure I have this bowl with the apples as well, and I will tell you a little bit more about that. So now, in order to make the dough for the crepes, mamusiu, so te ciasto na naleśniki, jakie składniki są potrzebne? Najpierw pokażemy.
Dobra, no podstawa to jest mąka, jajko, mleko.
Mom is saying that the basic ingredients for making naleśniki are the flour. We have about 3 cups of this right here. This is all-purpose flour. You don't have to be particular which one you are using. I think this is 2% milk, but any milk works as well. We had in the recipe, you have.
Powiedz, że 4 powinno być na tą proporcję, ale że były małe, to wzięłam 5.
Okay.
Że niekoniecznie trzeba było, ale wzięłam, żeby
In
było
your
dobre.
recipe, you are seeing, it says we need 4 eggs. But when we started preparing this, Mom noticed that those eggs were a little bit on the small side, so she put 5. So then we have a mineral water. Mom likes to use the one with the sparkling one.
Powiedz, że pod koniec miksowania, jak dodamy te rzeczy, że mąka jest czasami różna, to już mamy na wszelki wypadek już nie mleko, tylko dodajemy wodę gazowaną.
Mom is saying that the most important thing about the water is that if our batter is too thick, she will be adding the water. In terms of ingredients, we also have a little bit of the salt and sugar.
A to jest, co to jest, zioło i to niekoniecznie można dodać, ale ja dodaję takiego koloru żółtego, ale trzeba uważać, tylko się niewielką ilość daje tego.
And we have a turmeric here. And Mom is explaining the role of this one is just really get the crepes nice and gold. So they are going to have this nice healthy yellow color. Mamuś, nie zapomniałam niczego.
Nie, tu
Mąka,
jest
jajka. Oh, and of course butter. And right here we have 3/4 of a cup that is melted on the frying pan. And I'm showing you all
Ale
of...
powiedz, że niekoniecznie masło można, powiedz, że my lubimy z masłem, ale można dodać olej zamiast masła. Zamiast masła można dodać olej. To gdzieś tak 4 takie duże łyżki.
Mom is saying that if you don't have a butter handy, you can also use regular vegetable oil or like regular oil, and you would need about 4 big spoons of that. The taste of the butter is a little bit different. If you use it instead, that's why she likes to use this instead. Okay, I think that those are the ingredients for the crepes, and I will quickly cover the ingredients. The reason I want to tell you about the crepes ingredients, because when we start mixing them together, you won't be able to hear our voice. So please get those ready now. And I will quickly go over the ingredients for the filling. So right here, I have the ingredients for the cheese filling. And what we are using is called farmer's cheese. It's not the ricotta cheese, so please disregard it in your recipe. Farmer's cheese is very similar in a texture to a cottage cheese. However, it's not a cottage cheese. It is a different, like a version of it. So this is how it looks like. I buy this cheese at at Woodman's, and that's the only place where I see it available. It is very popular kind of cheese in Polish cooking. So I got farmer's cheese in a cheese section at Woodman's. Also, we will be using some yogurt. Co jeszcze do tego?
Dodaje się do
Jogurtu
tego
albo śmietany, tak?
Tak, i żeby konsystencja była taka
Ale jeszcze nie
fajna.
musimy o tego składnika.
No to tak.
Mom is saying if you don't have a yogurt, you can also use a sour cream. And then the other things we'll be adding to our cheese filling is sugar.
Sugar i rodzynki.
And I have 1 cup of raisins here, and they are soaked.
Just a quick question here.
Yeah.
3/4 stick of butter in the frying pan. Someone's asking that. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. That is correct. Yes, and it's melted, so make sure it's melted. Okay, mamusiu, ale do tego jeszcze dodajemy
Cukier, rodzynki i wanilię. Albo cukier waniliowy.
Cukier waniliowy albo cukier puder, tak?
No najlepiej cukier
So we
puder.
have a vanilla extract here we'll be adding and a powdered sugar.
Ale wanilia to oprócz tego też dodajemy cukier puder, bo tym słodzimy.
Dobrze.
Zależy od jaką chcesz słodkość uzyskać.
The powdered sugar is very important, I'm saying, because for the sweetness. But you will see everything. I just again want to, just in case if you want to get those ready, please, those are the things they'll be needing. And then we have for the apple filling, we have 4 or 5, 4 albo 5 jabłka. Tak?
No kilogram, gdzieś koło kilograma.
Mom is using European measurements, so she's talking about 1 kilogram of, Alyosha, how much is kilogram?
2 pounds.
2 pounds of apples. They are peeled and cored. We will fry them on a frying pan together with the butter, sugar, cinnamon, and orange juice.
Tak, i orange.
Orange juice. I think we have it all. Any questions so far? Okay, just for the decoration purposes, you can use your imagination, but we prepare some strawberries and blueberries and some of shredded chocolate and whipping cream, and Mom will be decorating all the crepes at the end. So let's start. Zaczynamy, tak?
Jest.
Dobra, to zaczynamy od czego?
Od jajek. Musimy dobrze ubić jajka z cukrem.
Dobrze.
Z cukrem, taką odrobiną cukru.
Okay, so now we will be adding the eggs, and then we will turn on our mixer, so it might get loud, but please, you are welcome to just watch us what we are doing. Okay,
Powiedz, że teraz nie będzie słychać.
Już powiedziałam.
Tak, dobra, no to ja.
Dobrze.
do tego walniki.
Sugar. What did you just add? Was that sugar? Salt.
Że stopniowo będziemy dodawać mąkę i mleko na przemian, że mąka jest przesiana, że dobrze jest przesiać.
Okay, so we will be adding step by step the flour and the milk next. Okay.
Jest konsystencja z mlekiem i z mąką. I to jest za gęste. I teraz rozrzedzimy wodą.
Okay, Mom is saying that the way the batter looks like right now is a little bit too thick, so that's why it's very important to add the water.
Cały czas. Woda jest dobrze zachowana, ale jeżeli by nie było w ten moment. No to wystarczy teraz, tylko nie trzeba tak długo tego już mielić. Wystarczy połączyć te składniki wszystkie i to jest, daj mi jeszcze, i to jest dobra konsystencja. I teraz musimy to odstawić na przynajmniej 20 minut, żeby to się rozklarowało, ciasto odpoczęło.
Okay, so at this point, Mom just checked the consistency of the batter and it is the right way. So I think in your recipe, we wrote like 2.5 cups of waters, and so far we put only 2. We may save the remaining portion of the water for later on, because right now, what we are going to do is rest this batter. And we will put it away for at least 15-20 minutes. Actually, the longer the better. I like to keep it for at least like up to an hour, because you will notice how it changes the consistency. So we will, odłóżmy to, przykryjmy to może ściereczką. And then during this time, when our batter is resting, we will prepare the 2 different type of fillings. Okay.
So you're covering it up too?
I'm just covering,
Mhm.
I mean, you can cover with the regular cover.
Okej.
Odkręcę ten,
Tak,
które robimy z jabłkami najpierw.
Tak, najpierw z jabłkami, bo jabłka się muszą, bo tutaj 25 jest, 20, jabłka się muszą uprażyć. Dobrze.
So what I will do here next is I will start pre-cutting, slicing the apples that we already peeled and we cored. And as you see, I'm just making like a small cubes. Odłóż ten, tak samo ten, to możemy się pozbyć tego.
Że teraz w tym czasie przygotowuje się na nadzienia do naleśników.
Tego masła nie chcesz dodać tego cukru teraz, a ja to będę dała. No to ten. Okay, so what Mom has on the skillet there is she put maybe like a 1/4 of the cup of butter, and she's warming up the frying pan, and then she's reaching out for some sugar. And mamusiu, ile? 1,
2,
2,
3.
3.
3 małe łyżeczki.
3 small spoons of sugar, and she will mix both butter and the sugar together. Now she's adding the apples. And we have the heat, I'm trying to see what she set this up. It's on a medium high. She will cover this in a second, and we will let this bake. Meantime, we are just so you know that the next thing we need to get this ready. We don't need this right away. Nie od razu jeszcze dodajemy, od razu trochę poczekamy, tak?
No trochę tak.
Okay, so next two things we'll be adding eventually would be a cinnamon, and I have the orange juice here ready.
Powiedz, że jeżeli są jabłka kwaśne, to trzeba więcej cukru. A jeżeli nie, no to tak te 3 łyżeczki powinno wystarczyć.
Mommy's saying that depends on what kind of apple you are using. If they are less or more sweeter, this is how you determine how much sugar to use. As you can tell, for mom, it's just everything depends. I will crank it up. She wants me to increase the heat to a little bit on the higher side. I want to make sure that this is nice and warm and it's baking. Okay.
Teraz poczekaj, będzie potrzebne to.
Okay.
I będzie potrzebne to.
Dobra.
Jak się tak mocno rozgrzeje, to dodamy tego. Dobra, możesz wlać tego.
Wlać tego soku.
Tak.
I am going to add now some orange juice. Jeszcze?
Dobra.
It was maybe about quarter of the cup.
I powiedz, że to się ma dusić, a potem odłożymy, żeby ten sok się odparował, żeby nie było to mokre.
So now her goal is just to bake everything. So she put the cover and she wants to just steam it and make sure that the apples are nice and soft. And then after that, she will try to get the excess of water out and she will add the cinnamon.
Dobra, to teraz bierz ten.
This one. Okay, as we are waiting for the apples, we will start making the cheese filling, correct? Myślę, może dużą łyżkę weźmiemy, bo będzie nam potrzebne, żeby to wszystko miksować. Okay. So this one is really simple. We'll just wszystko wymieszamy razem, tak?
Tak.
Dobra.
Szykujemy,
Dobra. Weźmiemy łyżkę.
nadzienie z serem. Dobra, to będziemy tak, całą łyżeczkę.
Dobra.
Jakbyś wzięła nową, masz.
Mam. Ile chcesz tego jogurtu?
No taką jedną pełną. Powiedz,
Jedną?
jogurtu bierze czy śmietany, bierze się w zależności od gęstości tego sera. Jak jest rzadki, to mało. No to na razie weźmiemy jedną. I jeszcze dwie. Dobra.
I am putting like 2 really large spoons of a yogurt right now.
I daj cukier, puder.
Okay, and then I am going to be adding a powder sugar. Any questions? I see some things coming up.
I'm just kind of typing in the chat some of the things that you're saying so that
Perfect.
if they can see the chat.
Okay, so the sweetness is going to come from the powder sugar. Ile, mamusiu?
Ze 4.
4?
No, raz.
Mom likes things sweet, so there are 4 spoons.
2, 3. To są małe łyżeczki, 4. Dobra.
Okay, so 4 spoons like that.
O, teraz daj tą wanilię, ale powiedz, nie musi być takie, może być też cukier waniliowy. Powiedz, ja najczęściej używam cukru waniliowego, ale żeby nie mieli, to mamy wanilię.
Mommy's not, usually mommy's saying she doesn't use the vanilla extract, she uses the vanilla sugar.
Vanilla sugar?
Vanilla sugar. And I noticed that I could not find it in the American store.
Oh, I was going to say,
And I don't think
I've
there's
never
something
seen it.
common. Exactly, yeah. So just go with, if you're ever in a Polish store, you can buy it in the baking section. It's just called vanilla sugar.
Is it liquid form too?
No, it kind of looks like a baking powder.
Okay.
It's one of those little packets. But for this purposes, the pure vanilla extract is perfectly fine. Mamusiu, to ile dodaję? Tyle?
No jeszcze troszeczkę.
Question, will the
Dobra,
recipes be sent or available after the lesson? And the answer is yes.
Yes.
Wystarczy. A powiedz, a tą cukier waniliowy to się daje jedną torebkę.
We will send it via email to you. And if for some reason you do not receive it, you can reach out to the Polish Heritage Society or my email, and I'm going to give you that email right now. Somebody did mention Penzeys Spice has vanilla sugar, Penzey apostrophe S has
Perfect.
vanilla sugar. So
Oh,
here's,
that's good to know. Okay,
Mhm.
perfect.
yep, here's my email in case you do not receive it via email.
Perfect. So this is the consistency of the cheese filling that we have right now. Kemi, what would you compare it to?
Daj teraz ten rodzynek.
Okay.
It, you know, it's thicker than a cake batter, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
And I am adding the soaked raisins to it. Again, the raisins are going to add more sweetness into it.
and the raisins can be soaked an hour prior to.
Yes, you can, or you can just
Or longer.
simply use a hot water. Jak namaczasz rodzynki, to jak zazwyczaj to robisz?
Gotującą wodą sparzam i przez
Przez sitko.
sitko odcedzam i już.
So the way mom does it is that she grabs the hot boiling water and she just pours over the raisins and let the excess of water out. I put some water right before we started and I let the raisins soak. The point is just so you want the water to absorb into the raisins so they are nice and soft. Mom is checking on the apples meantime.
Powiedz, że teraz odkryłam, bo to było pod przykryciem, żeby się ten sok odparował.
Okay, mom is saying that now everything is nice and really the excess of the water from the apples plus the orange juice make the whole thing really liquidy. So she wants to make sure that evaporates. So she just tried the sweetness of it.
Okay.
It is good. Okay, so we will let this cook for a couple more minutes. And
I teraz Małgosiu
Mamusiu, to jest
do jabłka.
Aha.
Cynamon.
And then she just reminded me not to forget about the cinnamon for the apples. Proszę bardzo. Jest z dziurkami, także możesz sypać. Just use as much cinnamon as you like.
I powiedz, pięknie pachnie.
It smells really nice because it's a combination of the baked apples and the cinnamon.
I powiedz, że gdyby nie było soku w kartonie, to można sok wycisnąć z pomarańcza.
Okay, she's saying sometimes if you don't have a orange juice, she's just squeezing an orange.
Powiedz, że ja wolę taką wersję z pomarańcza.
Mom likes the squeeze orange juice. Okay, mamusia. Okay. So mamy około 10 minut, jak to stało.
No.
Do you have a little bit time for questions if you have any for mom? Are there any?
And if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat or you can unmute yourself and come on live and talk to us. Remember, your question might be somebody else's question. No questions so far.
Okay. If we have a second, I will mention that different type of fillings you may choose to. Nie przygotowałam tych drzemów.
To wyjmij
no.
tego i niech stoi tutaj.
So if you just don't feel like making the cheese filling or the apple filling, of course, the very safe and easy option is to use your favorite jam that you like and just grabbing some of the one that I have this available. I love the black currant one, so that's always a good option. Here we have, both of them are black currant. We also like to use a strawberry. Z czym mamusi jeszcze można nadziewać?
Nutellą.
When mom makes the crepes for her grandchildren in Poland, she often fills it up with Nutella and bananami.
No, ale powiedz, że wszystkimi owocami. Tylko tak trzeba zrobić na patelni, wiesz, podsmażyć, czy na przykład brzoskwinie mogą być, banany.
Mom is saying you can use any seasonal food, a type of fruits. If you like to skip apples, you can, for example, bake the peaches as well, and do the same. Put a little bit of butter, sugar, and a little bit of cinnamon at the end. Of course, you cannot go wrong melting some raspberries or different type of berries and stuff it with that as well. What we have here, I shredded some chocolate. I don't have a Nutella or a chocolate syrup, but we're gonna use this for decoration.
No.
Tym czekoladem
No
posypiemy.
i powiedz, że można też taką w sprayu jest czekolada.
Of course, you can never go wrong with
To
whipping
jest
cream.
śmietana i w sprayu jest ten.
And we have strawberries, and for our class, we have few blueberries. So we have a lot of different options here. Mamusia, to jest 15 minut teraz, bo 25.
No jeszcze tak 5 minut.
5 minut, okej, tylko musimy coś wymyślać, żeby
No
mówić.
teraz może jakieś pytania.
No to już by zapytałam się, ale każdy chyba wie, co się dzieje.
Mhm.
I'm just checking on the
No,
apples.
ale możesz się zapytać, czy to trudne dla nich, czy nie trudne. Powiedz, że smaki są wyśmienione, wyśmienite, że w ogóle...
My grandma makes crepes every time we came to visit. Love learning how to make them today. Just a comment.
Taka pani mówi, że jej babcia zawsze robiła naleśniki, jak przyjeżdżały wnuczki, żeby ją odwiedzić.
Aha,
I to jej strasznie to
przypomina.
powiedz o Martynce,
Mhm.
że zawsze robisz dla tej. So mom also, every time she goes to visit my brother's children, she has two grandchildren, 4 and 6-year-old. And the youngest one especially, she loves grandma's naleśniki. Wiesz, że Martynka bardzo lubi naleśniki, jak ty robisz. So she always makes one. Z czym Martynka lubi te naleśniki?
A nie ma reguły, ze wszystkim.
Just as long as grandma makes the crepes,
Bardzo
she's happy.
lubi, no, co ta czekolada, jak to się mówi?
Nutella.
Ale Ania ogranicza, żeby tego cukru jak najmniej, ale to, co jest zakazane, to powiedz, że bardzo jej smakuje.
Of course, my sister-in-law is trying to cut on the sugar, but the things that are forbidden taste the best. So grandma tries to sneak in the chocolate as much as she can, so her grandchildren are happy.
No i powiedz, że to jest takie danie, że goście wchodzą, czy domownicy głodni i no to można robić i to jest bardzo syte, bardzo fajne, bardzo...
Mom is saying that she makes crepes a lot in like as a last minute type of dish when she has nothing ready, but she has unexpected guests coming in. Naleśnik is always a good option.
No. A powiedz, wersja z mięsem, wersja z grzybami, wersja z kapustą i z grzybami, no to już jest...
Wyższa szkoła.
Tak, no nie, no, że to już jest takie danie obiadowe, takie sycące, ale bo jest bardzo fajne. Że to...
Mom really likes the savory version of crepes when you stuff them with mushroom and meat and
She said
sauerkraut.
kapusta.
Kapusta,
Is that cabbage?
yeah, sour cream. Yes, kapusta kiszona. She means the sour. And then you can make it really fancy dinner out of that. It's a little bit more work because there are some additional steps that you need for that. But just don't feel that this is it, what you think so far. Making crepes can be a base for many other dishes as well.
Powiedz, że to jest taka wersja na słodko, to jest tak jak deser, można to traktować. Zamiast ciasta, zamiast jakiegoś, tu można mało cukru dać i to jest takie fajne danie.
So mom is just reminding that right now we are making the sweet version, but if you choose to make the savory one, then you can skip putting sugar together with that butter and add only a salt, and then choose to mix it with, stuff it with meat or sauerkraut.
So there's a question, do you make a meat crepe with a mushroom sauce on top?
Interesting one. Mamusiu, so takie pytanie jest, czy nadziewasz te tak samo naleśniki z mięsem, ale polewasz sosem grzybowym?
Podpiekam tylko.
Nie polewa się.
Można, raczej nie. Raczej nie, ale nie ma reguły. Jeżeli ktoś bardzo lubi, to można, ale wystarczy podpiec z mięsem i to już jest very good.
Sprawdzę tam, żeby to się nie paliło, bo tam nie ma masła. Mom is saying that she doesn't usually do that. She starts them with the meat and then she usually fries them on both sides for an extra texture. But she does not usually put a mushroom sauce, but she said it sounds very delicious. So go for it. It is going to be the next step who we are preparing for, and mom is already on the top of it. She's making sure, she wants to, she's preparing the, okay, so the apples right here, the apples are ready. We already took it out of them. We turn off the heat. And mom is preparing the skillet, and the key for the good crepes is to make sure that the skillet is really nicely warm up. No to może już się spali.
Teraz daj to tu.
Tam jest ciasto. So we have about 20 minutes right now when our batter was resting, and we will check the consistency.
Trzeba sprawdzić konsystencję. Jaka ta konsystencja jest? Ja bym troszeczkę dodała wody. Ale nie dużo, Małgosiu.
Greetings from Quebec, Canada.
No, pozdrowienia masz z Kanady.
O,
pomagaj.
Canada.
Okay, mom is saying she would add a little bit more water. So as you remember, so far we had about 2 cups. And I have, ile tej wody, mamusiu?
Połowę tego kapsa.
Tego jedna
Powiedz, że
czwarta mam
powinno być dobre, ale bo ja wolę jak jest rzadsze. Wiesz, to się ładnie rozpływa po patelni.
Mom is saying it's good when it's a little bit on it, not as
Yes,
doughy.
yes.
The butter is not as thick. So I really have a quarter of the cup here that I'm adding.
No dobra. Ciasto, powiedz, jest gładkie, piękne. Piękne, gładkie. Będzie smakowało.
The butter is perfect. Now you will get ready the...
Yes. Teraz to położę tu. To tu. Wow. I powiedz, że nie może być gęste, bo nie będzie się...
Wszystko się spaliło. So the butter, it was I didn't pay attention and there was just too much.
Yes.
She just quickly cleaned it because the batter got brown and it started frying. So we will do it one more time.
Małgosiu, a może do smażenia weźmiemy olej?
Nie zmieniajmy.
Okej.
Będziemy lali, nie będzie się ten. So mom is going, you need to keep an eye. We were trying to prepare the skillet so it's nice warm, but it got too hot. And then, so do it one more time.
Bo jest warunkiem, żeby się dobrze smażyło, to musi być rozgrzana patelnia, ale nie za mocno, żeby się nie paliły. Tylko, że nie może być letnia czy zimna. Wiesz? O, i teraz daj mi to tu, będę miała blisko.
Mom is saying, make sure that your skillet is not too cold. It cannot be too hot.
Poczekaj,
As...
ja wezmę.
A musi być za zimny jeszcze, to nie jest rozgrzane.
Nie, dobrze, bo było rozgrzane.
Okay.
Does the batter look like the consistency of milk? Go ahead.
Mamusiu, takie jest pytanie, czy to ciasto na naleśniki to jest konsystencja mleka?
Troszeczkę gęściejsze.
A little bit thicker, mom is
To
saying.
jest takiej śmietany rzadkiej.
Like a thin sour cream, but the American sour cream, I think it's different than Polish one. So this is not.
Yes, so a little thicker than milk.
Little thicker than that.
Ty powiedz, żeby teraz tą kamerą przyszła, że to jest takie
Ona
ważne.
pisze teraz.
Aha.
Okay, Tammy, if you want to just like get closer, Mom is going to pour the first naleśniki. I just don't think this is warm enough, but Mom is going for it. I myślę, że to nie jest rozgrzane, mamo, w ogóle.
Nie, rozgrzane. I tak nabieramy to. O, chyba rzeczywiście.
Alusza, where are you?
Żeby był cienki i równy, to trzeba tą patelnią.
Okay, so she is steering the frying pan, the skillet around. And so she saw that the dough was nice and she wanted to spread the dough nice and even.
I to jest tak minutkę.
Okay, so now she's going to wait a minute just to make sure that the crepes are nice and that the first crepe you want to make sure that the edges are nice, getting a little bit golden. Okay. Dobrze?
No, powiedz, że warunkiem, że one się nie przyklejają do patelni, to jest to masło czy olej, który dajemy do
ten w środku, czy ten na zewnątrz?
Nie, ten w środku, a ten na zewnątrz to się tak daje bardzo niewiele.
Mom is saying that crepes should not stick at this point because you have enough butter inside the batter, but also the one that you put on a skillet.
Did Alina switch pans?
Did she what? Switch pans?
Switch pans.
No, she just quickly grabbed the one that had burned because the butter was getting burned. So she quickly washed it and she put the same skillet.
Pierwszy naleśnik to jest zawsze nie ma koloru, bo ta patelnia się rozgrzewa. Że pierwszy naleśnik to taki, no, i nie jest ten, co...
Man is saying historically the first crepe cannot turn out very well, but please do not get discouraged. The better, the hotter the skillet gets, the better your naleśniki will turn out. No z dwóch stron już działaś, tylko z jednej?
Nie, z dwóch, tylko tak się nie było bardzo dobrze, tylko rzeczywiście rozgrzane.
Okay.
Ten cukier, powiedz, co się daje do ciasta.
Okay, the first one, go. Perfect. Okay, we will put a little bit of butter on the bottom. You see how nice and hard it is. Okay. Yeah. And see how she is turning around the skillet. So this is nice and even. Okay. Czytam ci to. Okay, this is a perfect one. This is much better. Because you can see how the edges are getting dry and the edges are getting nice and golden as well. And you don't really need, it's just a couple, like I would say 30 seconds. If the frying pan is nice and warm.
It looks like some people are in the kitchen
Okay, perfect.
doing the same thing. So
Excellent.
feel free to share your masterpieces too, folks.
So I have questions for for the people that are cooking with us. Do you guys feel like this is a hard recipe? Are you following smoothly, or are you having? Is it fairly easy?
Oh, thumbs up. That means
Thumbs up.
they're
Okay.
doing okay.
Perfect.
Good.
Czy ludzie się kapują, co robimy i czy to jest łatwo? No ale mamy palce do góry, że jest dobrze. Mommy's making a third naleśniki. It's coming up good. And if you notice, like every time before she poured the batter, she mixes it very well as well. Okay. That's a good one. Perfect. So what we are going to do at this point, we will make sure we will have about 6 crepes ready. And we will show you how to decorate them.
Powiedz, że tak można poruszać, to znaczy, że już można przewracać, jak odchodzi. O.
Mommy's saying when you start moving the skillet and the crepe is moving, then it's time you can put it around.
Najpierw się tak robi po brzegach, a potem się tak to znaczy, że już można.
She usually touches the edges before flipping the crepe on the other side. Okay, ile mamy do tej pory?
Here's a question.
Okay.
How come I have some lumps of flour?
Jedna pani ma grudki z mąki. Dlaczego?
Mało miksowała.
Mom is saying if you have lumps of flour, it means that you did not mix it long enough. You just need to make sure that the consistency of the butter is smooth, and and you would prevent that from happening by mixing long enough.
I mleko trzeba to zachować, jak dodała do jajek mąkę, to od razu jej się mogło zbrylić. A to trzeba tak na przemian robić. Mąkę z mlekiem.
To znaczy, żeby na przemian to robić, tak? Żeby nie dodawać całej mąki.
Tak.
Mom is also saying that if you added all your flour at the same time without mixing it, flour and milk, that may happen as well because you have too much flour at the same time. If you are allowed it mixing with something liquid, that would prevent from happening.
I powiedz, że jak odstawi to na 20 minut, żeby się nie przejmowała, że to nie jest dobre. Jak odstawi to i gdyby jeszcze coś zostało, to się powinno
Ale może na końcu tak samo zmiksować.
I zmiksować.
Mom is saying don't you know, like don't get discouraged by the lumps, just grab a mixer and mix it a little bit more. Okay. So raz, dwa, trzy. Okay, trzy. So we are making a crepe number 4. We are expecting to make about, ile wtedy zrobiliśmy? 15? Chyba troszkę więcej. Between 15 and 20 crepes. Is that what we are going to do with this batch?
Oh, if you don't want to make all of the crepes at once, can you refrigerate the batter and cook later?
Ale jedna pani się pyta, czy jak nie chcesz wszystkich robić naleśników teraz, to możesz odłożyć to ciasto i zrobić sobie je później, czy lepiej zrobić wszystkie naleśniki teraz, a potem, znaczy jak byś wolała?
To znaczy można to odłożyć, ale lepiej upiec.
Ale można.
Można, ale nie za długo, żeby na drugi dzień to nie.
Na następny dzień za
Nie,
długo?
to lepiej jest upiec i zostawić.
A na ile można odłożyć?
Na drugi dzień.
No to mówię, że za długo na drugi dzień.
Ale nie, no to jak rano się robi, no to na popołudniu.
Okay, so mom is saying, yes, you can do it later. She prefers to use all of the batter and make all the naleśniki, but then store them in the refrigerator if you don't want to use them, because they are really nice and yummy if you put them again on a frying pan and warm it up with a little bit of butter. They're gonna get crispy on the outside and they're gonna taste really delicious. I like that version too. Like use the dough right away, make all the naleśniki. You know you're not gonna eat it right away, but but just store them in the refrigerator.
Could you tell me how much turmeric you added?
Mamusi, jak tego kurkumy dodawaliśmy, to ile to było?
Powiedz tak na koniec łyżeczki.
Jak tu jest łyżeczka, to tutaj.
No to powiedz tak o tyle.
Okay, so mam, pokaż do kamery. So if this is
Na
small
koniec
spoon,
łyżeczki, tak.
it's just on the
Tyle.
top of the spoon, ale to pokazujesz, okay, like
No, coś takiego.
how much is it, like a half a teaspoon or?
Maybe a little more.
Ale powiedz, to nie jest reguła, że jak
teaspoon.
kurkumy nie ma, to nie być naleśnikiem.
Mom is saying like don't worry about the turmeric too much, because if you don't have it, this is not going to define the quality of your crepes. The turmeric is really for an extra color. So the brighter your naleśniki you want to make, the more you are using. So use it just to your liking. Okay.
Powiedz, że można wrócić do tego pytania, że jak ona mówiła, że lepiej jest upiec, bo potem się podgrzewa.
Tak, powiedziałam już o tym, powiedziałam. Okay. One thing that I would prevent from doing is trying to warm up your naleśniki in a microwave. You do not want to do it because they get really gummy and they don't taste as good. The option about frying with the butter, you can never go wrong with that. Okay, mommy's making another one.
Somebody remembers their grandma making jam as a filling to powdered sugar on top.
Yes, and actually mom is going to do exactly the same. Jakaś pani powiedziała, że pamięta jak babcia robiła swój własny dżem i na końcu sypała cukrem pudrem.
Tak, no to powiedz, jest rewelacja.
This is her favorite actually kind. Czekaj, policzę ci to szybciutko.
To będzie 8 chyba.
Jaki 8? Mamy 6 tylko zrobić.
Znaczy,
Znaczy, żeby na to, a potem dorobimy jeszcze. Raz, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mamy 6, to wystarczy. A potem dorobimy jak po klasie, bo nie będziemy 15 robić.
A nie, a może 4. 4 z serem i 4 z jabłkiem.
Nie róbmy czegoś innego, róbmy tak jak robiliśmy wcześniej. Okay, so we have about 6 of the crepes ready right now. So we will move on to the next step. But just as a reminder, the person who is going to win the first prize will receive 10 of them. Okay, so we'll make sure we have enough for you with different type of fillings. Okay, Bąbciu, to wyłączmy to, dorobimy.
So Connie says, my mom always putting them in a baking dish with extra butter and put them on low heat in oven.
O, okej. So jedna pani mówi, że jej mama wkładała do piekarnika na bardzo malutki, już jak się skończyło.
Ale tak
I
się
trochę
robi.
masła dodawała.
Tak. Ale tak jest dużo, na party jak się robi, to właśnie tak się podaje na ciepło i do piekarnika. Bardzo dobre uwaga czy pytanie.
Yeah, she likes that comment because it's very common. My mom does it the same if she makes a large quantity and she wants to make sure that the crepes are warm. She does the same.
No już dobrze.
Okay, so let's start making them nice and pretty. So mamusiu, what do we have here? Co tutaj mamy?
Dobra. To teraz co? Nadziewamy tym jabłkami?
Yes.
Jabłkami, dobrze.
To mamy, zróbmy 6. 2 takie, 2 takie i 2 takie.
Ale dwa
I te z dżemem, dobra?
Aha, dobra.
So mom is going to show you a couple different ways of filling them right now. Tylko pamiętaj, że różnie można je złożyć, żebyś pokazała.
Dobra.
Chcesz
No to
łyżkę taką
jabłkami, tak. Jabłkami to zrobimy tak.
Okay.
Taką techniką, że
First, mom is going to,
żeby nie wylatywały, to tak.
she put the apples in the middle and now she's going to fold them a little bit like a burrito. I don't know.
Tak.
Yes.
Okay. So this is number 1. Number 2, again, all of the filling goes inside in the middle of the naleśniki, of the crepe. And then she folds the edges.
Tak.
And then she folds them from the,
Tak.
like that. Okay, excellent.
Ale nie będziemy przysmażać na maśle.
Nie. Już powiedzieliśmy, mamusia, ale już 2 są.
Aha,
ile
to już
tego?
wystarczy? Nie
No to
3?
zrób jeszcze jednego, ale już
Dobrze.
ostatnie.
Dobra, 1, 2 i 3.
Okay, of course you can put as many apples as you want. I like them nice and thick.
Powiedz, że to jak poleży, żeby przygrzać później, to można na maśle, na patelni. Aha, to już powiedziałam. No
Okay,
to
so this one is
dobrze.
done. Okay, so this is the apple filling. Now we will show you another way you can fold them with the cheese. Tylko nie za dużo, żeby się nie tego. Kwadraty, tak?
Tak, teraz
Dobra.
nie w
So
kwadraty,
now
tylko w trójkąty.
Trójkąty. So
To-
now she
Tak.
folded in half and half. Okay.
1.
Okay, so half and half. So these are the 2. Okay, no i teraz drzemy, mamusiu,
Aha,
no bo
2.
zostały nam 2. I zrobimy z takiego
Dobra.
w ruloniki. To poczekaj,
Dobra.
dam ci tutaj łyżkę.
Dobra.
Proszę bardzo. And now this is a jam. You don't want to make it too, I mean, you're doing to your liking, really. I don't like to put in too much and make them too sweet. But you kind of spread it evenly everywhere.
So Kathy remembers folding them. I remember the folded way for cheese crepes you are showing.
O, ta Kasia mówi, że pamięta, jak tak robiła, jak zawijała.
Aha.
So now she just roll it like a cigar. Okay?
I teraz można, wiesz, teraz powinno się, jeżeli by one były chłodne, no to można to podpiekać na maśle, na tym, wiesz. I teraz tak, to są z jabłkami. To z jabłkami weźmiemy, Małgosiu.
No,
Takie
tylko
rzadkie,
dekorujemy
Małgosiu.
No
Takie
tylko
rzadkie,
dekorujemy wszystko, dawaj.
A daj takiego drzemu, żeby lecącego bardzo.
Nie mam takiego, mamo.
Nie ma, wszystko jest gęste.
No ale to...
Daj, to tak, żeby się trzymało cukier.
Okay, now Mama is going to decorate and she's improvising right now. So I am just totally not in
Spojrz,
control of
że
things.
to najlepiej się czekoladą, wiesz, w sprayu robi.
Okay. So now she wants to put extra sweetness on the apple one.
Daj cukier puder.
Tu masz cukier puder przed tobą.
Aha.
Now we have a powder sugar
Daj
and she's going
łyżeczkę.
to... Się skończyły łyżeczki.
Henry says when we were in Krakow last September, we saw high cakes made from many layers of crepe. Have you ever made these?
No, I have never made those before. Sounds very nice. So she's sprinkling some of the powdered sugar, more sugar. I am going to decorate with some blueberries. Czekolada, mamo?
Tak.
Dobra. Here we have some chocolate.
Powiedz, to są na bogato. Wszystko tu jest.
Yeah, this is Mom is saying an extra rich version. Everything is here. Usually when you are hungry, you're just making it with the jam and you don't have as many, but we are trying to make it nice and pretty. Make it look very delicious. I hope they do. Mamusiu, co jeszcze? Oh, of course, the whipping cream. Yeah. Okay. Lala. Perfect.
Tu weźmiemy.
Ajajaj.
Ojej.
Mommy is a master of decoration, as you can tell. And the more, the better. Tak, może te truskawki włożyć tak samo na tą śmietanę? Like this? Okay.
Tak.
I'm learning from mom something new every time. Okay, mamusiu, ready? Gotowe?
Tak, jest. Powiedz, że tu to już można dowolno. Kto co lubi, to se może dogadzać.
Okay.
I robić wszystko na bogato.
Yes. So you can go as crazy as you want to in terms of decorating this. To weź cały ten talerz. Our naleśniki are ready. I hope this becomes your new favorite breakfast. And
A teraz
Mausia is going to pick up the lucky winner for that we can choose the prize. Mamusiu, wybierz.
ojej. Żeby tak do Kanady.
She likes an option of sending it. Przeczytaj.
Kani,
Connie,
Bradbury.
here we
Bradbury.
can turn it around.
Yeah.
Kani, Bradbury.
There you go. Connie, you're the winner.
A
Yes.
Kto to, skąd jest?
Connie, where are you from? I'm just thinking, just in case if Connie is not from this area, maybe we can choose another.
So let's see here, Connie,
Ty
where?
teraz może
Are you
weźmiemy je
from?
z serem, przykroimy.
Już koniec jest. Już koniec.
Kansas City. So she's not from this area. So
Connie z Kansas. To jest bardzo daleko.
O,
So I would just explain that Kansas is
Sorry.
not in this area. So unfortunately, we won't be able to.
but she can choose either.
Yes, but you can choose the membership to our society or the T-shirt, and we will contact you about that. So how about I don't think we want those to go to waste. So how about maybe if we can
try another one if you want. Mhm.
get another person? See, we will try it, as long as this person is from this area. If we get another person out of state, we will have to continue. So sorry if you don't win it.
Lynn Rossak.
Is Lynn from Green Bay or Appleton or lives very close?
Lynn Rosek. Let's see where she is from.
Len, where are you from?
And maybe you could talk about she didn't answer yet.
Okay.
But, how, if they want to join the Polish Heritage Society.
Yes, for those of you that like our class and you would like to participate in a future cooking class, please consider to join our society. And it's a fun organization to be part of if you want to continue with your keeping up with your heritage, and you can sign up for the membership either using our website, and Tammy has the link to that website in the e-messages, or you can simply contact Tammy or pick up one of our newspapers, and the membership form is on the second page.
Okay.
Did we hear from Lynn?
We did not hear from Lynn yet.
Okay.
To see where she was from. She maybe she's off already, but
Okay.
If up to you how you want to do that.
Sure. We could probably, Tali nie odpowiada, tą co wzięłaś drugą nie odpowiada, skąd ona jest, to nie wiemy.
Aha.
Okay, we can try one more person. Sorry, Len, you are not here, we didn't know.
I'm going to put the link for the Polish Heritage Society
Excellent.
here.
No, dobrze.
Teresa z Chabów.
Nie, to jest Jessica.
A Jessica? A kto
Jessica, you are a lucky winner of the crepes. I know you live in Nina. So please let us know if you can stop and pick those up either today or tomorrow.
A gdzie,
Okay?
gdzie?
Jessica to jest Dawida córka.
O!
Yeah, mom happens to know.
Oh, yay! Thank
Oh,
you.
we hear her.
Excellent.
Okay,
Mom is
that's
very happy.
That's awesome.
Congratulations.
Do we have any other questions before we close? We end the meeting.
Aha.
Okay.
Everyone, thank you very much for joining us. Debbie says thank you. We enjoyed the newsletter and the cooking class is wonderful. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys. See you next
Goodbye.
time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Canada.
Goodbye.